Hello, this is going to be an in-depth integration video for our request checkout payment widget, where we will explore all its functionalities such as accepting crypto payments from any website, dealing with billing information and generating receipts, as well as some more advanced functionality that the widget provides. Here we have a Next.js application already set up with some UI elements for buying tickets, and we will be adding our widget to this app. In our code, we need to first import our widget and add it to the page. In order for the widget to function properly, it has three required properties. First is the seller address, which is the wallet address that accepts the payments, the amount in USD, which will calculate based on the amount of tickets the buyer chooses to buy, and supported currencies. Supported currencies is a list of currencies that the seller chooses to accept, which gives the buyer more flexibility when making the purchase to pay with any currency they would like to pay with. So let's select REC mainnet, ETH Sepolia, and USDC mainnet. If we save and go back to our app and refresh, we can see that our widget has loaded properly, and when we add tickets, our amount is updated as well. We can add more things to the widget, such as seller information, which will do mainly two things. It will add more information in the receipt about the seller, as well as add some UI elements in the widget itself to give the buyer more context. Let's start by adding the seller name and first name and last name, as well as their logo. Once we save and go back to our app, we can see that now we have the seller name and their logo showed up. We can also add product information, which will show up in the receipt, as well as add UI elements into the widget. Let's start by adding the product name, which is request network event tickets, and description. This description will be dynamically set up as we change the tickets. Now, if we add more tickets, we can see here that our description is updated by the amount of tickets, and we can also see the name. We can also add buyer information if we want. If we're taking it from another form on our website, we can already add the billing details for the buyer directly through here. But by default, our widget already accepts it. Once the buyer chooses their currency, they are prompted to fill in their buyer information directly here by email, first name, and last name. And once they click continue to payment, they can proceed by making the payment. We can disable this option if we want by having enable buyer info to false. And once we save and go back to our widget and click pay, once we select the currency, we'll be prompted directly to pay. This will eliminate the need for the buyer to fill in their information. You can also add an invoice number. This will show in the receipt at the end of the payment. For more advanced functionality, we can add fees. This will be basically a commission that will be paid into a separate address when the payment is happening. In order to add that, we can have fee address, which will be the wallet address that takes in the commission, as well as fee amount in USD. We're setting it to be 10% of whatever the tickets are. Now, if we save and go back to our app and click pay, after choosing our currency, we can see the added information such as fee address and fee amount, and the total amount, which accounts for both the fee amount as well as the original price. And then we can click pay and we'll be prompted to confirm the request, as well as make the transfer. Once we confirm, our payment starts the process and will be soon prompted with a complete payment. Now that the payment is complete, the buyer can download their receipt or view their request details on request scan. The widget also has some event listeners, such as on error or on payment success, which will allow us to do things on our app when we have an error or the payment is done successfully. Let's try on payment success here, which returns us the request itself that has just been created with all the information. And in our case here, we're setting a timeout for 2 seconds. So we wait 2 seconds after this pop-up shows up. And then we said that the payment is success, which will show us some new UI. After we save and we try to create a new payment, we have the pop-up of the payment being successful. And after 2 seconds, we are being routed to the new UI. And just like that, we have integrated our request checkout payment widget, which accepts the crypto payments for us, deals with billing information and generating receipts, as well as commissions and other things.